blow a whistle. Okay. Let the board know, and if possible, you can even copy the regulator.
All right. Quickly, let's see if we have that short interview, taking a portion of it that you had with the former executive vice chairman of the NCC, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe. Director, can we have that and see his take on good governance of private companies?
Transparency and corporate governance are so critical today because without good corporate governance, companies fail, market is distorted, and consumers don't get the best they can get from the industry. So it's so important, especially today where we have challenges globally, nationally, that for a company to survive and remain in business, they need to observe basic good corporate governance principles. And by so doing, for the telecom industry in particular, we have less of corporate failures. And you know that when companies fail, we have less competition in the industry, and which means that when you have less competition, you have issues about not having right pricing for services, and also you have limited choice for services. So it's in the interest of everybody that we have good corporate governance so that competition continues to thrive and the businesses continue to do well, and the users of the services will be the better off for it. Institutional failure and good corporate governance, they are related in a way. I think that there are clear evidences of bad corporate governance that run across a number of the companies that have failed. First of all, in the ability to be able to foresee the future and plan for it, know when to merge, when to join forces with other companies. Many of them, people want to continue to be chairman, managing director forever. But the truth is that as the telecom environment evolves, a good company would know when to say, look, it's time to sell. It's time to merge with another. It's time to do things differently. Number two issue is that there have been cases where bad management have been responsible for failures, where people, instead of identifying competent people to manage the organization, they just appoint their brothers, their cousins, their sons. You see, business is a very serious business, if I can put it that way.
All right, Dr. Ernest Ndukwe talking to the Fidel on the importance of good governance. I think that was 2012.
Yes.
So people have always felt like this, that, yes, that companies must not be left to the whims and caprices of the CEO, yes, because most of the times it leads to chaos, it leads to a destruction of those companies, and a lot of people who have toiled day and night to bring that company to where it is suffer and perish with that whims and caprices.
That is just the painful side of it, and we hope with this new measure, coming in, there will be some kind of responsibility, stability in the system. Because you see, now this sector is contributing 8 to 9% of the national GDP, so it can only get better. Right. And in getting better and contributing to the growth of the country, you must also do it with responsibility, right, and accountability. So now the new responsibility, particularly for the boards now, as it's been enshrined, is that they have to guide the management on issues of succession planning. Okay. In most companies, you don't have that. All right. So the company dies with the CEO.
All right. We'll take a final break, and then we'll come back to wind it up. And as we wind up, having dealt with good governance, we agree that it's important. It is the constitutional duty of the regulators to make sure that these companies survive, and they can look inside those companies and check the impunity and the excesses of the so-called CEOs who just take everybody on a roller coaster, and crash with them. Okay,
Absolutely.
so we are agreed on that. Okay, so as the NCC monitor what's happening there, we see what comes out after they've rolled out this document. Okay, quickly on the Infracos, any latest development, Fidel? Quickly.
Nothing really. I
Okay.
mean, I do believe that it's going to be a kind of all-commerce affair, because people have seen that in this kind of setup, David can beat Goliath. That's what happened with the 2.3 gigahertz.
It depends on how much each person wants.
Yes, so
okay.
people will just take a shot. I was talking to somebody at Martin Lakes. Said they are, studying the RFQ. They want to take a shot at it.
Multi-links that we are waiting. We are waiting for the LTE. We have been waiting for LTE for how long now?
It's good to dream. Maybe that's where their power is.
Okay, maybe they think they don't need so much money to start this one. Maybe they can quickly start this one, get this one going while they are still dreaming of the LTE.
It's possible they have a fiber optic ring, because you see, Multi-links earlier started very early. Building dogs for their data.
So you don't know which advantages they are open to cashing out.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
Exactly.
Okay, we keep our ears to the ground and find out those that are queuing up. I think by next week we should have some names of those who are queuing up. We are going to check their background thoroughly. It is our responsibility to investigate and make sure they are not coming through the back door. Okay? We will need to do that. All right, frantically, the director said we have to go, and I'm Kunle Aboishade. Have a lovely Thursday, Fidel.
Thank you for watching.